Pleased to be joined by Terrier men's lacrosse head coach Ryan Polley as BU gets set to hit the road for a trip to Lafayette. And coach, this is your first overnight road trip of the year, and in a year which is certainly unique. What does it feel like to finally have an overnight trip and be with your team for an extended period of time?
I think we're grateful and thankful that the university has allowed us to go overnight and play non-conference, and then pick up this bridge Patriot League schedule, and part of that is traveling overnight. So we're excited to go overnight. What this kind of means to me is that our guys have done just a really good job with the COVID protocols, and we're certainly not out of the woods yet. And any one situation can affect our team drastically. But for the most part, and not even for the most part, our guys have been excellent this semester, and did a great job in the fall and learned from a few mistakes that we made and have just been terrific. So, all the credit needs to go to the guys, and certainly putting this season and staying healthy at the forefront of their minds and making sacrifices to put us in this position where we can travel and be healthy. So we'll get on the bus. We'll do all the things that are necessary to stay healthy, and it'll be great to get on the road with the team and then play a really important game on Saturday.
Yeah, Lafayette coming off a midweek game at Drexel. Just talk about what you've seen on film from them.
Yeah, they have a relatively new coach, very well respected in Pat Myers, and he does a great job. And he's just starting to get his players in there, and they're very young, but they play really hard. They're going to play a ton of freshmen and sophomores, the kids that he's recruited, and I'm sure they're getting used to his system. But the one thing that I'll say is they don't back down to anybody, and they went down to Loyola, which is a really tough place to play, and they're up 4-2 and have a man up opportunity late in the first quarter to go up 5-2, and they go to Drexel, who's a perennial top 20 team, receiving votes. They're up 2-0, and they're going to play extremely hard. They're not going to back down to anybody, and what they lack in experience, they make up with how hard they play. So we're going to have our hands full. They're very well coached, and again, anytime a team gives max effort, certainly if you don't meet or exceed that energy, you can be in trouble. So our message this week is to certainly worry about ourselves, but we got a really good opportunity to go out here and play against a team that's going to play really hard, and for us to be successful, we're going to have to play just as hard and execute at a really high level.
Vince DeAlto is a point away from reaching 50 points. He'd be tying the program record for fastest Terrier to 50 points, and pretty impressive, even though it's over 2 seasons. Just talk about what Vince has been able to accomplish so far, not only as a goal scorer, but certainly as a playmaker.
Yeah, Vince has been terrific, and certainly, last year in the shortened season, we were seeing his growth, game after game, and I think we were excited to see how that season was going to end, as him and Lewis and Timmy kind of got the chemistry of an attack unit playing together for half a season. And unfortunately COVID happened, and it got stopped, but all the credit's got to go to Vince and the amount of work he put in the off season, because as good as he was last year and his improvement was noticeable over those 6 games, he was a completely different player when we got to work with him this fall, and he is just upped his game. Coach Slippo has done a really good job with him, is teaching him the nuances of his offense, and certainly having him be more than just a goal scorer. He's really upped his production, sharing the ball and making solid plays that lead to either his assist or hockey assist, where he's affecting the defense and drawing double teams and then moving, and then somebody else can be on the receiving end of that. So he's just done a tremendous job. I can't say enough positive things about Vince.
Matt Garber, back-to-back goalie of the week honors for him from the Patriot League, and it seems like he just, every time you need a big save, he comes up with one. Just talk about what he's meant to the team in his first year as a starter.
Yeah, Matt's been terrific. I mean, he's had games where he's been so locked in that he almost seems unscorable on. Certainly the Merrimack game, he had 17 or 18 saves, and then certainly the Holy Cross game, he was unbelievable from the first shot. He was great. And then, but what I really like is the Army game and now the Colgate game where he didn't get off to that really hot start, and he had to battle through the game, just like kind of we did in both those games as a team. We had to get our legs and then, build play after play. Matt did that from the goalie position. He did it save by save, and in both games where we needed key saves in order, in the Army game to get us back in the game, and the Colgate game to secure the game. He was phenomenal in the fourth quarter against Colgate. So, certainly, goalies, have those games where they're just, they're in the zone, the ball looks really big, and they're making every save look easy. And certainly great goalies do that. Matt has done that this year. But the ones that really impress me is when, the game isn't coming as easy, but Matt reaches deep down and, picks up his concentration level and knows that the team needs him. And just like he did against Colgate, has a tremendous fourth quarter so that we can secure the victory.
Christian Quadrino was named one of the top 10 freshmen inside Lacrosse's early season rankings. Tommy Bork won Rookie of the Week honors from the Patriot League this past week. You mentioned in your press conference after the game, Dane DeGoler had a great showing against Colgate. What's it mean to you to have all these young players, freshmen, and then obviously some sophomores as well, stepping up and making big contributions to the team?
Certainly the sophomores we've talked about a lot is certainly a key part of our success. But I give a ton of credit to the freshmen, and not just the four that you mentioned, but all the freshmen. They lost their senior season. We basically didn't have a fall. College as we know it was so drastically different this fall and into the spring. So everything that they've accomplished has been on their own. So I give a lot of credit to all of our freshmen for their maturity and being able to handle a really tough situation. And not only off the field, but certainly on the field with not having the fall to evaluate. And usually the fall is when we work with the freshmen, we teach them our systems, and we really get a long evaluation period to understand which guys are going to be in position to help us during the season. And we just didn't have that. So guys have had to step in and just learn it on the fly. And certainly some guys, unfortunately just didn't have that time to kind of get their feet wet. And, they continue to improve. And we've seen a really uptick in our freshman production in practice. There's some guys that might not play on Saturdays, but are doing a great job. And certainly as the season goes, and as hopefully we continue to make this playoff run, so you'll start to see some freshmen inserted into our lineup. But all the credit's got to go to the freshmen, and certainly the four that you mentioned are doing a great job on Saturday. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention all the freshmen.